We are live. We are live this morning, beautiful Wednesday morning, Wednesday the 24th of January 2024. And we are live here with our SSM News Echoes Global Africa for our African audience. You're welcome. My name is Mark Godwin Iweajuwan, and I'm here with, hopefully, my colleagues will be joining from the different parts of the world. I'm here all alone now in the studio. We are live and we have to do what we have to do. So you're welcome, viewers. You're welcome to Wednesday morning Global Africa. I'm talking from Milan, Italy. So before we go into the news, while I wait for my colleagues, we go through some newspaper headlines. Newspaper headlines coming out from Nigeria this morning. We are hearing news that the Economic Financial Crime Commission, EFCC, this morning has picked up a former governor of the state, governor of Anambra State. He's called Willie Obiano, Willie Madubuchi Obiano. Willie is before the Economic and Financial Crime Commission at the Federal High Court, Abuja. What we're hearing is that he's been arraigned on a 9-count charges bordering on money laundering, up to the tune of 4,800 million naira. 4,800 million naira. That's heavy. So a source of the anti-graft agency claimed that the former governor allegedly moved that said sum of money from different accounts. They added that at various times, the money was changed into dollars and returned back to Obiano by cash. So 4,800 million naira is hanging on Obiano's head, fraudulent financial crime. And we hope to hear more from the news. It's ongoing now, right there at the court in Abuja. The Financial and Economic and Financial Crime Commission has arraigned Willie Obiano of Anambra, former governor of Anambra State, on charges of money laundering. So yes, more in the news as well. Following the modern news, there is this ongoing saga in Nigeria, and some people are putting their own views into it, and that is the relocation of the CBN quarters, the Central Bank of Nigeria, where money issues are handled, the body that covers our financial transaction. It has been situated in Abuja for some time now, but presently there's a plan by the present-day government, Bola Tinubu's government, to take some units of the CBN bank back to Lagos State. Some people are saying it will have some political consequence. Others are saying it's good so that activities are not clustered and jammed into one place. So the central bank is taking some part of its units to Lagos. The central bank has always been in Lagos before Abuja came up anyway. So, but they are going back, and some senators are against the decision. Some senators say, no, this will have some political consequence, some implications. So it's ongoing. We are watching what could happen. But what we know about now is some units have been transferred, some staff members have been moved, items and materials have been taken from one point of Abuja to Lagos State, Nigeria. So we're following that now. Also, in the headline news, we're looking is the story of American United States Secretary of State, Antony Blinken. Antony Blinken is right now in Abuja for a meeting with our President Bola Tinubu. And Antony Blinken came in last night. Before I continue with the news, let me bring in our coordinator in Lagos that will give us more on the Antony Blinken story. BD Nana, you're welcome. You are
Thank you
welcome.
very much, Massive Man, for having me. Good morning, our viewers all around the world. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you, BD. At the point, I was wondering if situations cut you up there. So it's good to see you. Yeah, it's good to see you. So we're running through some news headlines, making round in Lagos, in Nigeria, all over Africa also. And I just talked about, I don't know what you have on that. The Economic and Financial Crime Commission, EFCC, is presently holding on to former Anambra State Governor Willie Madubuchi Obiano. He's been held on a 4,800,000,000 charges of laundering. Do you have the story? We know he's there right now, about now, and facing all the charges. What do you have on that, BD?
Winnie Obiano,
Mm-hmm.
I don't actually have the full story on that, so I might not be able to give you the full details of that because they've not really given us a full detail on why. Let me not say what I don't know. I don't have a full story on that.
Okay. After now, you be on the lookout. Stay alert. Stay on the grind, and let's know what's going on because it's a serious one. 4 billion naira, 800 million. The charges are that he converted them into dollars, returned them into cash, and put in his accounts, different accounts. So, and this is while he was governor of the state. So that's a serious one for him anyway. Also, maybe you can give us an update on this. The location of Central Bank of Nigeria, some units, some arms of the central bank is being relocated back to Lagos. And but some senators are complaining. Some senators say it will have some political consequence. What do you have on that, BD? Are you full?
You see, what is happening actually in Nigeria now is what I call, it has always been there, but we kind of pretend as if we don't know. You know, what this thing shows you, now, I'm in Nigeria, I'm based in Lagos. Human beings naturally are selfish. Do you understand? If I want to speak in the area of being a selfish human being, I'll tell you, oh, I like it because it's going to bring money or development in Lagos State. But that's not what we want as a Nigerian. What that shows is that we have never had one Nigeria in Nigeria. That's what that speaks. There's nothing like one Nigeria, because you find out what is happening in Nigeria is that anybody that has an opportunity in Nigeria to lead in whatever level they are leading, they tend to focus on their tribe, their ethnicity, and their religion. And you tell us we are one Nigeria. There's nothing one about us. Do you understand? If you look at our attitude, our behavior towards the entity called Nigeria, you cannot see anything one about us. So the thing is this: the CBN and the federal government said they are relocating some parts of CBN back to Lagos. And this part they are relocating to Lagos is actually the main CBN. It's actually the financial aspect of CBN. They are relocating it to Lagos. And not just that, fund headquarters has been relocated too. And fund headquarters has been relocated to Lagos. Now, the Northern Ariwa youths and the Northern elders, and they've condemned it totally. They said they don't want this, that it can happen. Yes. Relocating this aspect of CBN and fund headquarters to Lagos will strip Abuja and North its financial strengths.
Okay.
So, yes. So they've kicked against that. They said they are not part of this. But the federal government said they have made their decision and their decision stands. Do you understand? They said they've made their decision and their decision stands. And a lot of things has been going on. And from our indication, the plan has been carried away. Everything has been formulated, everything has been done. People have started moving back. So I hope federal government will do something different. Like I said earlier, that shows you that there is nothing one about us in this country. Because we saw what happened during Buhari regime. When
So what?
Buhari, yeah, kept his appointment one-sided.
That's
Do
it.
you understand? Yes, his appointment was actually one-sided. So Tinubu coming, a lot of people were thinking that he's going to be a true Nigerian, normalize things, do it like a Nigerian. But he's still doing the same thing Buhari did. His appointment, if you look at it over a few months now, it has been one-sided. So it's now a survivor of the fittest. Just try what you can do to get there. When you get there, favor your people, favor your ethnicity, favor your religion. Unfortunately, you remember when Tinubu came to power, we were crying about this Muslim tickets. And the
Yeah,
Muslims said it has nothing to do with, religion, that they should allow them go. Now,
that's correct.
it's so funny that the Muslims are the one crying more now. It appears that what they intended, what they planned, is not favoring them. So it comes down to that thing I said. It's all about the religion. It's all about the ethnicity. Ethnicity. So it's like I said earlier. It shows that there's nothing like one Nigeria here. We're just pretending and deceiving ourselves. If we can tell ourselves the truth.
It's sad. It's sad, and it's from the root. This whole problem goes down from the grass, from the root, and it keeps blowing up more and more. Tinubu might say the Southeast didn't support him. The Southeast weren't there for him during the campaign. They even didn't vote for him. But the thing is, yes, you have different candidate, different choice and all that. But when a particular person now emerges, he carries everybody along. But that's not how we see in Nigeria, sadly. It's okay.
Now, Massive Mag, you see, the way we do things in Nigeria, like I will always tell you people here, Nigerian leaders lies a lot. They will always have things to justify their actions. Now, what they are saying, why they are telling us the reason for relocating the offices to Lagos is to decongest the offices in Abuja.
Yes.
You and I know that Lagos as a state is congested.
Already.
Lagos is congested. Now, the office they said they want to relocate to Lagos. Before they will stay in that office, they are going to put in a lot of money. You see the situation Nigerians are in now. Do you understand? We have a lot of things to do with money. People are hungry. If these people come back to Lagos, they're going to spend billions of naira to put those offices into use. So our people don't
check,
think or analyze issues before they get into it.
That's it.
They just jump into it.
Thank you very much. Thank you, BD. BD, yes, so many things happening also. We just talked about that. The other thing again is the United States Secretary of State, Antony Blinken, is right there with you. He's there he's been there. I don't know, so much fuse about his coming. But like we discussed last time, you even said so that their visit doesn't much impact on the lives of the people, and that's what matters, not all these big grammar, big movements, and at the end of it, the citizens gain nothing. But anyway, he's there with you. What do you have to say? We saw the ambassador, the foreign affairs minister, Yusuf Tuga, and the secretary to the government, George Akumi, and the chief of staff to Tinubu, Femi Gbajabiamila. We saw all these people shaking hands with him, receiving him at the entrance of Asu Rock. The other thing I want to say is Secretary of State of America is likened to a minister. So why do we get so excited that a minister for example, a minister in Nigeria visits a country, visits America? They don't care who he is. Why are we so excited that the Secretary of State of America is in our country and we are jammed up thinking something will come out of it? Well, BD. What's your views on this?
It's an African man thing. You know, I'm sorry to say this. You know, we get so carried away whenever we see a white man, and that is why, yes, whenever we see a white man, we get carried away. It's an African man thing, and it's a mindset thing,
Okay.
and that has actually cost us a lot. Still, we don't want to learn. Yes, he was actually at our Aso Rock, and he was received by the Ambassador Yusuf Tuga, the
Yes.
Minister of Information, yes, and top government officials. Even with Tinubu, they've received him. He came to, he said he's here to strengthen the relationship between African and USA. And like we said earlier, their major focus in this visit is in area of climate, food, health, and security. That's what he said. And this is based on the agreement they had with Africa in 2022 summit that was held. So that is, it was after the outcome of that summit that is bringing him to Nigeria. Like you said, this is just a minister. And a minister and a whole continent. I don't know, a minister and the whole continent. I don't know what we're going to benefit from that. I don't know the outcome of this trip.
Because he'll go back home, and some people might even kick against some of the other members of his cabinet might kick against their decision. We know this very fierce opposition between the Republicans and the Democrats, and you know, when they come up with an idea, these ones kick against it. Anyway, yes, Blinken is in Nigeria. He's expected to hold bilateral meeting with President Tinubu. And like you said, he has come to talk on some key issues bordering on climate, food, and all that. From there, he'll be touring Cape Verde, Ivory Coast, Nigeria, Angola, and some other countries. And he has said that all he's doing around Africa is for regional security, conflict prevention, democracy promotion, and trade. So let's see how that works out for us, BD. Thank you very much.
I just pray so that it works out for us. And like I said earlier, I said the other day, Nigerians, Africans should be, you know, business mind driven. Because these people, over the years they've been dealing with us, they have been business minded driven. Africans should learn not to settle for less. And they should stop looking at now in whatever dialogue they have with them. They should look at the future. They should project into 20, 30, 50 years. But the problem Africans have is that they always look at their present situation to dialogue. And when you look at your present situation to dialogue, you will not get the best out of that dialogue.
Thank you. That's a good one. Yes, you will not get the best. Looking at the future. Yes, BD, let's go into something that stirred up my emotions when I saw it. I don't know if you're following that. Right there in Abuja, primary school teachers are protesting for non-payment of their salary. And they've been on strike for over a week now, like the information said. And no concrete response has been given to them. No, they've just been there sitting in the sun, holding placards. I think we have a picture of that. They've just been there holding placards, protesting. No response. These protesting teachers accuse the the FCT area council of poor attention to their welfare. They are protesting for non-payment of their salary, promotion arrears, new minimum wage arrears since 2019 that was announced to them. None of this has been received. Nobody is responding to them. And these are the people that make up the fabric of our country. Teachers. How come we have this group of people and nobody cares about them? And like you said, billions will be used to renovate a project that doesn't really make sense. Billions will be used to buy house and renovate houses for senators and all that. Billions will be used to build house for the vice president, Shetima, and also buy vehicles for all these ministers and their wives. But nobody is looking at these poor teachers that affect the life of our country. BD, what do you know
Yeah,
about?
I've been following the news. See, Massive Mike, most times when you speak on certain issues, the first thing people comes to the mind of people is that you hate a particular individual who is in power, or maybe probably you hate APC as a party. Nobody
Mhm.
hates anybody. We speak so that people can, to correct people. That's why we are speaking. That's why we analyze and criticize some things. See, this teacher protested for the non-payment of salary arrears, promotion arrears, and new minimum wage arrears. And this is since 2019. 2019. You know why I made that analogy before I started talking? This was since APC government has been in power. And you and I know that it was in this government that they allocated billions, I'm not talking about millions, into an office that is not constitutional in this country. They allocated such amount of money to an office that is just ceremonial. And this is our teachers who produce us. Whatever thing we are today in this country, it is our teachers. Do you understand? And we treat them anyhow. This is since 2019 that FPC has taken over power in this country. Now, the question I want to ask you now, if people in Abuja can have this kind of experience, what do you think other people in other states in Nigeria will be going through?
Mhm.
If they can owe Abuja teachers since 2019 till now, that has pushed them to the streets to protest. Now, imagine what is going on in the other states in Nigeria. This is just the Nigerian situation. This is what an average Nigerian is going through. But the thing is this, most people wouldn't know how to come out to speak. Another thing is that even if when you want to speak, you have a lot and millions of people shutting you down, silencing you. The thing is that even the APC governments, they don't care. This thing doesn't get to them. They do what they want to do, and they come up with their propaganda. And unfortunately, Nigerians would believe in it. Just hold on. They've not given a speech on this. They are coming out to give a speech on this. And all their speech is geared towards exonerating them. They are not always accountable. They are not ready to, say, oh, we've made a mistake. We are sorry. We are going to do it right this time around. They are not. This is so unfortunate and, disgracing to us as a country. If this kind of a thing will be happening in a federal capital of a country like Nigeria, we call ourselves giants of Africa. If we can't pay our teachers, but we are buying SUV for senators, House of Rep members, ministers. Do you understand? It shows that we don't have value for education.
Thank you very much, BD. Viewers, you are listening to our program, SSM News Echoes. This morning, Wednesday, we are giving the global African news. We want to tell you what you're seeing on the screen. It's a protest going on, the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. Primary school teachers have not been paid their salary. They've not been paid all their arrears. They've not been paid the minimum wage that was promised them since 2019. And what BD is saying is so touching. These are the people these are the fabric of our society. When you don't handle these little grassroots situations, how do you want to take care of the big situation? These primary school teachers affect us. They take care of our children. This is where our lives begin. In Africa, in Nigeria, your school age begins from the primary school and you grow. Now, when those teachers are not taken care of, how do the students learn? How do they become better citizens? So we here in SSM, Schengen Story Media, we want to call out to people, officers, officials are in charge. Please answer these people. Look at what they are asking for. 35,000 naira minimum wage. That's all they are asking for. 35K, like this.
Just a peanut from what they spend.
Can you imagine that? This is money some people spend in a stand with granules or biscuits. Some of these senators are spending, and these people will use this to live through a month, and they've not even been paid for years now. So it's disheartening. please do something. People in authority listening to us, council, Abuja council members, listen to these poor teachers, attend to their welfare. They are protesting the non-payment of their salary, the promotion arrears, minimum wage that have been promised them since 2019. They've not received anything. Do something about these people. These people are helpless. They are in our hands to help, and we need to really come to their aid. Teachers, primary school teachers in Abuja, if our primary school teachers all over Nigeria needs to be taken care of. That's the grassroots of life for a lot of people. That's the beginning of education for many of us. So thank you, BD. We hope our message will be sent out there. Thank you, BD. Yesterday, I saw that. I was going through the news on Monday. It touched me. I said, why this? Anyway, BD, let's go on a small break. We're coming back. Major discussions are on. Thank you for coming. Viewers, you are tuned in to SSM News Echo Wednesday morning here in Milan, and there in Lagos, Nigeria is BD. We'll be back with you. Hang on. Let's take some break from our sponsors. Thank you.
Arise, oh, compatriots, Nigeria's call, obey to serve our fatherland with love and strength and faith. The labor of our heroes past shall never be in vain. To serve with heart and might, one nation bound in freedom, peace and unity.
This is your numero uno, and my name is Charlie Boy. Yes, the king of boys, the area father, the father of their fathers, the Odubariba one of Africa. Yes, the president of all frustrated Nigeria. You see, when you go on this Schengen team with these boys, you go get the real information. No be yawa yawa. Because me, I am authenticating this platform, because now where we go get the correct information. If you are not here, then you're a mumu. I better come poke it there.
This country has some of the most extraordinary culinary diversity in the world. I'm talking about Nigeria. This first dish is amala abula, made popular by the Yoruba people in southwest Nigeria. It starts with amala made from dried yam and then is covered in a variety of soups. Next we have ofe nsala, a white soup that is synonymous with the Igbo people of southeastern Nigeria. It goes best with fufu, or akbo as the Igbos call it. Next we have suya, the most well-known food of the Hausa and Fulani people of northern Nigeria. Meat is covered in a peanut-based powder called yaji and cooked over an open fire. This is banga and starch, a classic of the Urhobo people of Delta State. Lastly, we have onunu, a plantain-based swallow of the Izon people in South Nigeria. We are eating it with fisherman's soup, popular throughout this whole region. And of course, we don't forget the jollof rice. This is popular everywhere in Nigeria. I think what makes Nigeria so great is the diversity of all the different people coming together. These beautiful ethnic groups living side by side, sharing culture and cuisine is what makes Nigeria such an amazing country to visit. Nigerians should be so proud of that cultural heritage, as there is so much more that unites than divides them.
Schengen Story magazine is an African international bi-monthly magazine based in Milan, Italy, and founded in 2016. The publication focuses on personalities, fashion, style, entrepreneurship, and culture for Africans. Though articles on food, movies, fitness, music, travel, sports, technology, and books are also featured. Our lives full of best stories. A lot can happen in a month. Expand your mind, change your world. It's Jen Again Story Magazine's full editions, celebrating Africans make an impact. Read better, the inside story. Your fashion magazine for a better lifestyle, inspiring stories for you. Your monthly dose of entertainment, a better mind keeping you updated.
Hashtag Schengen Story Magazine.
Viewers, you are welcome back to SSM News Echoes this beautiful Wednesday morning. Joining us as we come back to the second section is our man, coordinator in Toronto, Canada, George Chukwu. How are you?
Oh, I'm wonderful. Good morning. Good morning, Billy. Good morning, Mark Godwin, and good morning, viewers from around the world.
Nice. We missed you at the first section, but we know it's all good. Listen,
Yes.
gentlemen, it's on. It's on. Wole Soyinka, the Nobel laureate, says barbarians have taken over social media, and it's causing a lot of discussion, talk. Everybody's wrangling. Wole Soyinka is a Nobel laureate in Nigeria, from Nigeria. He writes books. He has lamented that the sorry state of social media in Nigeria has been downgraded to the lowest common denominators, and these denominators, he says, are barbarians. Wole Soyinka was saying this in a program and an event of I think the 48th president party of his club in Abeokuta, Ogun State, Nigeria. Now, reactions are coming over that statement. As media people, you guys are, I want to put it to you. Let me start with George. Barbarians have taken over media, social media in Nigeria. This is what Wole Soyinka says. Is that true? Is it correct? Is the man saying it also eligible to saying this kind of thing? Bearing the fact that we know
it's
who
very, very unfortunate that Wole Soyinka used to be a man that I respected highly. But as the older he gets, the more deplorable he becomes, that I don't even pay attention to what he says. This is a man who went many years ago to hijack a radio station during an election and have done so many things that if you begin to count it, it's uncountable. Now, he's come to the point in his life where when we are supposed to be listening to every single thing that he said because of his experiences, we couldn't even be able to do that anymore because he's sold his soul, number one, tribally, something that a man of that stature should be speaking against. He is indirectly supporting, and not up until today did he make any comment whatsoever about many issues that I was expecting somebody of his nature and caliber to say, but he never mentioned any of them. So you know what? I really don't want to waste my energy on him because maybe too much whatever Google is disturbing his head. I'm sorry, I can't discuss it now.
Anyway, what he said affected a lot of people, and a lot of people also reacted. BD, considering the fact that social media it has really come to help us somehow. Now we get real-time information. 2, things that were hidden before comes to the fore. 3, people are able to assess things. And there's an awakening in the minds and the lives of many people because of social media. Information's flow. Now, if they now say, and we know, yes, there could be negative side to it, but when you generalize and say social media is full of barbarians, how do you see that, BD? And you know who the barbarians are?
Massive Mike, the problem we have in Nigeria, I always say, is that we are very, very hypocritical as people. If barbarians have taken over Nigerian social media, Wole Soyinka is the first barbarian because he started it all. You see, one thing we don't know in this part of the world is that we don't know that people, the world, see the ceiling heads. We were in this country, and like Sir George said, we know all what Soyinka did during the Abacha regime, during the Goodluck Jonathan regime. He was always in the forefront of freedom fighters, criticism, activism. Do you understand? The same Soyinka has become so tribalistic this time around that he can't even say simple truths. And what do you expect in return? Of course, Nigerians are doing what he taught them. Remember, he's a professor. So he has taught Nigerians professionally how to be barbarian. He has not even started. This is just the beginning. See, the same Soyinka is the person who has condoned all the evil that has happened in this country since 25th of February 2023 election. He condoned everything. And what was he thinking when he was doing all those things? You think Nigerians were not seeing? They were not listening. We saw how Soyinka openly said he will cripple government in this country. Yes, we saw how Soyinka protested against governments. Like Sadon said, how he held a whole radio station hostage. So what was he expecting? Or was he expecting that he would do all those things, other people will not do more than him? He has been a liar. That man, do you know the stage that Soyinka is now, if Nigeria was to be other country, they would have stoned him because he has abused himself. He has not stand what he represents. He has messed up his integrity, his self, and the professorship that was bestowed on him. So he doesn't even have rights. He doesn't have the legitimate right to abuse or call any Nigerian person a name because he started it. So legally, he doesn't have the right to say what he said.
BD hit this one. No, BD, this one is hammerhead of strong talk.
But you know, when you really think about it, Massive Mark, when you really think about it, it's very, very disturbing that a man that we consider to be an international, well-recognized individual who is supposed to be an ambassador of wisdom has sold his soul to the point of being so he's talking about a barbaric attitude. Look at him, simply because what's his name, the current president rescued him or maybe gave him bread and water when he was suffering, and that will stop him from speaking the truth. I mean, when you go down the road and see the kind of attitude he's embraced at this elderly age, look at how highly respectable somebody like Obasanjo is today. Obasanjo does not fear anybody. He speaks the truth like he's supposed to be, and he stays right in the middle. Whether he's a Yoruba or whatever, it doesn't really matter. But this individual, I've lost complete and absolute respect for him. I met him here in Toronto when he came here, a while ago. That was when I had respect for him because he was well balanced. But right now, I think he's lost his bunkers. He doesn't have it anymore, unfortunately. No respect.
If you're hearing us, this is what we have said from our network here, that you do not have the right to call anybody barbarian. You have not exhibited, you've not displayed better character even. You've not said truth to matters. So, in fact, we say that you are probably the head of the barbarians, if there are barbarians.
Right. We said that, and I support it.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. Let's move on. Please, I like us to finish what we have here. Yesterday, there was two sides to the discussion. Some people said they've arrested the Métis president. Some people said they've not arrested the Métis president. Before we come into the Métis thing, BD, why is Nigerian press, why is Nigerian media, why are they not stable? Why do they fabricate news? Why our news not stable? Why do we have two news at the same time? They've arrested this man. They've not. We see that happening in most cases. BD, can you help us? Why do we have that situation in Nigerian media space?
It's the government. In Nigeria, the real people that control news in Nigeria is the government. Yes, we have NBC and we have NAN. If you're a media person, you are expected that you get your news from these people now. They will write and syndicate. And what are they writing? They're writing what government wants. Do you understand? So most times, if you want to get real news in Nigeria, go to locals. Those people who are not dependent on NAN or NBC or NCA. Those people names I called now, they are government's own establishments. Government pay them and government controls them. Nigerian governments will hold a meeting and they'll tell the medias, this is where you should be reporting your news. This is where you should be reporting your news. You all were here during the Buhari administration. That press conference was held in Kano. My colleague were there and they told them how to report Boko Haram and kidnapping in the north. And that was when they came to tell us that Boko Haram has been defeated. Yeah, that was out of the meeting the Nigerian government had with the media. So Nigerian media are really handicapped. I feel for everybody who is practicing journalism and want to be professional in Nigeria. It's not easy. If you want to do the news the way you were taught in school and the way you know, you have issue with Nigerian government. It's a Nigerian government controls the news.
Thank you very much. Okay, BD, this is a very good thing you've just done. And I'm happy a lot of people are hearing you say this. So we have that confusion in our news space. This news will come, another one will come. Everybody, you'll be caught in the middle and wonder what is happening. And now BD has put that to light. The Nigerian media space has two factions, those that are sponsored by the federal government and the local news providers. But it's sad that our government will keep lying over little things, some things that they shouldn't even lie about. George, how do you see this? I mean, why can't we have stable news? I mean, what's there if something happens and they say it as it is? What's the consequence of saying it as it is?
Because in the past, they used to be able to control everything. Mm-hmm. People did not have the ability or the technological know-how to come out and say things like they are supposed to be. Okay. So number one is the news will come out, people will narrate what they have seen, and the government will muscle the media to say what the government wants them to say. So in every case, you have the left and the right, and then until you come to the middle, that's when you can find the truth. That is the reason, because everything is being controlled and people are afraid. People are afraid to come out and tell it like it's supposed to be, rather than being responsible for the news that you have. You are afraid of your life. You are afraid of everything. So that's what you see today in Nigeria regarding the news. That's why you get the left, and then all of a sudden you get the right. And then at the end of the day, you come to the middle and find the truth. It's very unfortunate.
Well, it's hard to come to the middle because days fly. That thing has happened and
it's forgotten. And that's the reason why they do it.
Okay.
They will send people to go and report otherwise from the truth that is happening, and then allow it to fester. So you decide whether you're going to be like a schizophrenia, turning left and turning right. You don't know which way to go.
Thank you very much, George. Anyway, for you guys, yesterday there was a report that one Bello Badojo, the president of the Meaiti Allah organization, is in the custody of DSS. And a minute later, another came said, no. DSS said, no, they don't have him in their custody. But the storyline is that this president of Meaiti, the Meaiti Allah is a
cattle.
The cattle organization of Nigeria. It's a group of people that say they administer cattle activities. Now, we saw that during the week, last week or thereabout, that group formed a vigilante group made up of about 1,144 Fulani youths selected from different communities in 13 local governments in Nigeria. And it was mainly in Nasarawa State. Now, what we found out was they were giving guns, they were giving all they needed to, and the agency said they were going to combat criminal activities in the North Central State. Now, they did that without the notification of federal government and probably the interior minister and some other federal agency. And we suspected that that could be, it wasn't a clear arrangement there. So on the truth, DSS should pick the president of the Miati Allah up because he needs to explain. It's not anything. He needs to come and explain what he's trying to do. You can't form a security agency inside Nigeria without the notification of federal government. So, George, what do you think about
What
this?
I think, what this is my own personal opinion. This is what I think that happened. Yes, indeed. They are still operating as if Buhari, who was the leader of the Mieti Allah, is still the president of Nigeria. So with that impetus, they went and formed this organization, not realizing that it's not, the status quo is no longer the way it's supposed to be. And now when this, the state government or the federal government discovered that this was done, the way it's not supposed to, they went actually and picked up that man. But a call from the head came from the head. A call came from somewhere and said something like, why are you people doing this to us? Type of situation. So now you see two sides of this whole entire thing. I believe that they did the right thing they were supposed to do, but there is an alternate force that is trying to keep this thing from happening. Watch this now. Nobody will rise up against all these so-called militia men that they're having. But if it was in the southeast or southwest, you will see how the military government will come to clamp them down and bury many souls, young people, unnecessarily hiding their bodies. They will kill them and massacre them. But now, because it's in the north, nobody will do so. And they're trying to stop the arrest of that man. I think he was actually picked up. And if he was picked up, he was correctly picked up the way it's supposed to be. And they need to stop that nonsense.
He was correctly picked up. Yes, he needed to come and explain what he was trying to do for me. Bidi, did you follow that? I'm taking to George's assumption, and I won't call it assumption. I think this is what has played out. Bidi, what do you think?
Yeah, the president of Mieti Allah, Alhaji Kato Haro Bello Dajo, was arrested. Now, let me tell you the real situation. He was picked up at Tindon Maila Cattle Market in Nasarawa State. He was picked up around 4:30 a.m. Now, they've arrested him. The news broke out.
4:30 a.m.?
Yeah, a.m., sorry, a.m. DSS
4:30 in the morning? What is he doing in the market by 4:30 in the morning?
No, they have house there now. They live around there. So DSS picked him up. They picked him up. Now, the news broke out. They reached out to the spokesperson of DSS, Peter Afunanya, but he declined. He refused to speak to the media.
Okay.
And like what Sir George said, you see, the truth is this. Yeah, we all are Nigerian, but there are people who are more Nigerians than others. And the Fulanis, the Hausas, has been the people who have portrayed themselves to be more Nigerians than others. And this, over the years, they've gotten away with things. They do things the way they like it. And what was their crime? Their crime is that
by the way, a point of correction. Hausas are suffering the same thing that you and I, as Nigerians, are suffering. It's just the Fulanis. Let's, state facts the way it's supposed to be. Not the Hausas. Yes.
It's all right. The Fulanis. Now, they form local police in millions to mind North Central. Now, before that, Kumi came out in a video and was speaking to Nigerian government that Fulani has that Boko Haram and kidnaps in the north are their brothers and their sisters, that they should not anger them for them to get angry, that there's nothing they can do about them, and that they are not going away anytime soon, that Nigerians should learn to live with them. So all these things were happening, that they picked this man up, and there was a call put out there. In Nigeria, you don't arrest Fulani herdsmen. Even in the southeast and southwest, policemen don't arrest them. Even if they burn down your house, they don't arrest them. There is an order, you don't arrest them. So now the DSS don't want to give a statement. But I will tell you for free, it's not in the news, but this one is my personal opinion, that this man is still with DSS, but they don't want to make it open because of Nigerian factor. So they are still speaking, and it's either they release him or they make it open. But there is a call, like Sir George said, that has gone through to them. Why did you pick him up? Nothing should happen to him. And that has been the way it's been in Nigeria.
Now, this is it, viewers. Viewers, you're listening to SSM News Echoes this Wednesday morning here in Milan, George in Toronto, Canada, and BD in Lagos. Now, you're hearing how things work in Nigeria. This is how it plays out. And there's nothing we can do but to speak. And at the point, probably there'll be a change. Nobody is greater than any other person in Nigeria. We're all Nigerians. We all have the same privilege, the same everything rights, the same all it takes to be a citizen of a country. So if somebody claims to be superior, then there's a problem. There's a problem, George. Is that not so? There's a problem.
It's a serious problem.
That's
And
a
it
serious
needs to be
problem.
it needs to be corrected by Asiwaju, the
It needs to be
Japan
Yes.
of the Western
Anyway,
world in Nigeria.
Gentlemen, before we close, let's just go into one business news, and that is that there is a billionaire called Femi Otedola. He's a Nigerian businessman. He came in yesterday. He was with Dangote Cement yesterday, and the owner of Dangote Cement, Alhaji Dangote, and he has added a very big chunk of his own wealth into the shares of Dangote business. Now, what he says is he wants to propel Nigeria. He wants to add to what Dangote is doing to propel Nigeria and indeed Africa to a much needed era of industrialization. So he added some part to the share of Dangote Cement and the Dangote business. Gentlemen, I want us to talk about this before we close. Is this truly going to impact? Is it going to help building construction, cement become cheap? Is it going to help also infrastructure development in Nigeria, in Africa, when Dangote expands and builds this cement business? BD, let me start with you. Is this going to?
Yeah, Dangote Cement and Otedola. That's a good one. That's a nice one. But if I want to tell you the truth, what I feel, see, a nation grow, a state grow, a country grow when you say this country is doing well, it's because the people in that country are doing well. It's good for him to invest in Dangote, but Dangote is already grown. I think he should have used that money to develop and help other upcoming or other small businesses that is in their 10 million, 100 million to grow, so that we can have a lot of industrialists. We can't keep funding one particular business. We can't keep funding one particular person. It's not helping us. Do you understand? What he did was good. I'm not saying, but it would have been better if he had looked in the direction of other people, not Dangote. Dangote don't need that money as per se. Yes, if I tell you, he don't need that money. But you know, we are this kind of people that always want to identify with already existing name, with people who have made names. And that is where we are losing it. Dangote would have looked for other companies, other individuals who his 200 billion, 300 billion will mean a lot and help them grow. He said he wants to industrialize Africa. You industrializing Africa is not just with one person. He would have looked for like 50 or 100 people and give them that money. In the next 5 years, we are growing, we are opening, but putting it in just Dangote will grow, but not the way we're supposed to.
Wow,
That's my
that's a powerful viewpoint, BD. That's a powerful one. You just took it to the other way, George. What do you have to say? This man says,
you see, a semi-monopoly is what they are building. I mean, we have already seen recently where the money that Dangote is working with came from. It is the federal government money, but people look the other way. He borrowed so much, which I know that he must have been borrowing before, and nobody says anything about it. But recently it came out that all the money that he borrowed, that he put into his business, came from from CBN, He never paid. He wasn't intending on paying back until the Barbarian social media brought it out. That's why. That's the advantage of having the so-called quote unquote by Wole Soyinka, the Barbarian social media news. That's what brought it out. But the only problem we have in that country up until today is news will come, it will flash, and it will get big for one day, 24, 48 hours. 3 weeks later, everybody forgets it. The man goes away with his money. What happened to that particular money that he did not pay? Who is watching to ensure that he's going to pay it? Or is he going to die unborn?
Is he going to die?
So we need to have an accountability people who will remember all the messes that are happening, call to remembrance, and make sure that there is an accountability and people are responsible for taking that thing all the way to the very end and let the world see what actually happened. That money that Dangote borrowed that he did not pay back, he's been trying to see the president because he wants to appease him. What happened to that money? Is this something that they have discussed behind closed doors and then it's all over? That is the ill of our country, and we must stop it if we have to become just like the movie industry in Nigeria, or what our football team is doing now. Because we are so good, so intelligent, we are being crippled by the government and the system in Nigeria.
This is powerful. I got so immersed in what you were saying and what BD said earlier. But we need to go, guys. We'll be coming back on Friday. I hope you guys will be here. This knowledge you put out, we need to have more of it. But on this note, I want to say, viewers, thank you for tuning in. This beautiful Wednesday here in Milan. We just did it with BD here in Lagos. BD Nana, thank you for coming through. George. Sir George Chuku coming from Toronto, Canada, this beautiful Wednesday, 24th of January. See you guys till come Friday. Thank you, viewers, for tuning in. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Love you.
Bye-bye.